Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me closely, because what I'm about to say can change the way you live your life forever. You're sitting here breathing, heart beating, mind racing, trying to purpose your path, your reason. And I'm here to tell you the greatest part of your life is not behind you. It's not something you missed or something you regret. The greatest part of your life is what you do next. Yeah, I said it next. Not yesterday, not last year, not when you had that job, that relationship, that opportunity. It's the next decision you make, the next step you take, the next mountain you decide to climb. That's where greatness lives, in your next move. See, too many of you are walking around holding on to what happened before. I missed my chance. I failed. I'm too old. Stop IT. Stop letting yesterday's pain dictate tomorrow's promise. The greatest part of your life is waiting on you to wake up and claim it. The greatest part of your life is what you do next. It's not about where you've been or what you've already done. It's about the choice you're about to make and the action you're about to take. Too often we get stuck looking backward, replaying moments of failure or success as if they define us. But they don't. What defines you is your ability to rise up, move forward, and take control of what comes next. The past is unchangeable, but the future is unwritten, and you hold the pen. Some people live their entire lives stuck in the comfort of what they've already accomplished or the pain of what they've already lost. They let the weight of past decisions and missed opportunities anchor them in place. But the truth is, the past is only powerful if you let it control you. What matters most is not where you started or even where you've been, it's where you decide to go from here. That decision, that next step is where all your power lies. Every second of every day, you have the opportunity to shift your path. It doesn't matter if you failed 100 times or succeeded once and lost it all. What matters is that you wake up with the understanding that the next thing you do can completely change the trajectory of your life. The greatest athletes, entrepreneurs, and leaders didn't achieve their greatness by staying stuck in their past wins or losses. They became who they are by constantly asking themselves, what's next? How can I keep growing, evolving, and pushing myself? This isn't about ignoring the past. It's about learning from it without letting it define you. When you spend too much time focusing on what's behind you, you lose sight of the possibilities ahead. Whether you've been through pain, disappointment, or even moments of triumph, they're only chapters in your story. They're not the whole book. The greatest part of your life will never be behind you because you still have the power to dream, to act, and to create. Some people think the greatest part of their life will come to them without effort. They wait for the perfect opportunity or the right moment to take action. But life doesn't work that way. The greatest part of your life doesn't just appear. It's built through intentional decisions and relentless effort. It's not about luck. It's about being prepared when opportunity meets you. And if you're always looking backward, you'll miss the doors opening right in front of you. When you embrace the idea that the greatest part of your life is what you do next, you start to realize that every moment is filled with potential. Every decision you make, no matter how small, has the power to lead you closer to your goals. It's about focusing on the step in front of you, not the steps you've already taken. Success doesn't come from dwelling on what's already done. It comes to consistently showing up, making progress, and refusing to give up no matter how difficult the journey feels. Fear often holds people back from moving forward. The fear of failing again, the fear of starting over, the fear of the unknown, it can all feel paralyzing. But you can't let fear dictate your next move. You can't let the what ifs keep you from trying. The truth is, every great achievement in history was born out of someone's willingness to take the next step, even when they didn't know what the outcome would be. Fear is temporary, but regret lasts forever. The future is yours to create, and the possibilities are endless if you're willing to step outside of your comfort zone. The greatest part of your life isn't going to come from staying in the same place or repeating the same habits. It's going to come from challenging yourself, pushing through adversity, and refusing to settle for less than you're capable of. The only limits that exist are the ones you place on yourself. When you understand that the greatest part of your life is what you do next, you stop letting circumstances control you. You stop blaming other people or external factors for where you are and start taking responsibility for where you're going. Life isn't fair and it's not always easy, but the power to change your situation lies within you. The next step is yours to take, no matter what's happened before. You are not defined by your setbacks or your victories. They're just markers on a much longer journey. The decision to move forward is one that you have to make every single day. It's not a one-time thing. It's a constant of choosing growth over stagnation, action over hesitation, and possibility over doubt. When you truly internalize this, you stop seeing challenges as roadblocks and start seeing them as opportunities. Each new day brings a chance to improve, to try again, and to keep building the life you want. Your potential is unlimited, But it's up to you to tap into it by focusing on what's ahead instead of what's behind. Your story isn't over unless you quit writing it. Too many people live their lives as though they've reached the final chapter, believing that their mistakes, failures, or circumstances have already determined how the rest of the story will go. But that's not true. Life doesn't come with a set script, and the ending isn't predetermined. The power to continue writing, to reshape, and to redefine your story is in your hands as long as you're willing to keep going. Every day you wake up is a blank page, an opportunity to add something new, something meaningful, something that moves you closer to life you've always envisioned. But too often, people let setbacks become the punctuation marks that they think define their entire narrative. They fail, and instead of seeing it as a plot twist, they view it as a conclusion. They get rejected. And instead of turning it into a moment of resilience, they let it become the final word. You have to understand that the greatest stories ever told are filled with challenges, conflicts, and moments of doubt. Heroes don't become heroes because they have smooth, unchallenged paths. They become heroes because they keep fighting, keep striving, and keep believing when others would have given up. The same is true for your story. You are the author, and as long as you keep writing, you have the power to create a narrative that inspires and empowers. The problem is people get stuck rereading the old chapters. They replay the mistakes, the heartbreaks, and the failures over and over in their minds, as if doing so will somehow change the past. But the past is done. It's unchangeable. What's not done is the way you choose to move forward. The past can teach you, but it should never trap you. You have to close those chapters and start focusing on what comes next. So it's easy to feel like your story is over when life knocks you down, especially if it feels like it keeps happening. Maybe you've lost a job, a relationship, or a dream you held on to for years. Maybe you faced rejection so many times that you've started to believe you're not good enough. But here's the truth. Those moments of failure aren't the end of your story. They're the moments that make the rest of your story worth telling. Think about every great achievement in history. Behind every success, there's a series of failures, setbacks, and moments of doubt. Those who achieved greatness didn't stop when things got hard. They didn't let their story end at the first sign of defeat. Instead, they used those moments as fuel to keep going, to push harder, and to prove to themselves and the world that their story wasn't over. There's something powerful about realizing that you're still in control of your narrative. You might not be able to change the events that happen to you, but you can change the way you respond to them. You can choose to let those moments define you, or you can choose to let them refine you. Every hardship, every failure, and every obstacle is a chance to grow, to learn, and to become stronger. When you quit writing your story, you give up that chance. You let the world or your circumstances dictate the outcome. But when you keep going, you take back control. You remind yourself that no matter how many times you fall, you can always get back up. No matter how many times you fail, you can always try again. The ending isn't written until you decide to stop trying. It's not always easy to keep writing when the world feels like it's against you. There will be days when you feel like giving up, when the weight of your struggles feels too heavy to carry. But those are the days when it's most important to pick up the pen and keep going. Those are the days that separate those who succeed from those who settle. The beauty of life is that it's constantly changing. No matter how bad things might seem right now, they won't stay that way forever. The same is true for success. No matter how good things might seem in one chapter, the next chapter can always bring new challenges. The key is to stay adaptable, to keep learning, and to keep pushing forward no matter what. Your story is unique to you. No one else can write it for you, and no one else can tell you how it's supposed to go. You have the power to decide what happens next. Even if you face failure after failure, even if you made mistakes you regret, even if you feel like you're at the lowest point of your life, your story isn't over. As long as you're breathing, you have the power to write a new chapter, to turn things around, and to create the ending you've always dreamed of. There is no perfect time. Start right now. Too many people delay their dreams and put off their goals because they are waiting for the stars to align, for the circumstances to be just right, or for some mythical moment when everything falls into place. But that moment doesn't exist. The truth is the conditions will never be perfect. And the longer you wait for them to be, the more opportunities you let slip away. The idea of a perfect time is a trap. It's an excuse that disguises itself as patience when in reality it's fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of stepping into the unknown. It's comfortable to tell yourself you'll start when you're more prepared, when you have more resources, or when the timing feels better. But all you're doing is postponing your potential. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to take action. And before you know it, days turn into weeks, turn into years, and the life you dreamed of becomes nothing more than a distant memory. When you understand that the perfect time will never come, you free yourself to act. You stop waiting for external validation and start relying on your own ability to figure things out as you go. Progress isn't made by waiting, it's made by doing. Taking that first step, even when you don't feel ready, is what separates the dreamers from the achievers. Everyone has ideas, but the ones who succeed are the ones who are willing to act on them, regardless of the circumstances. It's important to realize that starting now doesn't mean you have to be perfect. It doesn't mean you have to have it all figured out. Perfection is another myth that holds people back. You don't need a flawless plan to begin. You just need to take the first step. Action creates momentum, and momentum leads to growth. You might make mistakes along the way, but those mistakes will teach you more than waiting ever could. When you start now, you give yourself the chance to learn, to adapt, and to improve. You don't have to see the entire path in front of you. You just need to trust yourself to take the next step. Every expert was once a beginner. Every master once started as an amateur. The difference is that they didn't let the fear of imperfection stop them from beginning. They didn't wait for the perfect time. They made the time they had work for them. The reality is, the conditions you think you need may never come. There will always be challenges, distractions, and reasons to put things off. Life doesn't stop to make room for your plans. You have to carve out that room yourself. Waiting for things to calm down, for the economy to improve, for more free time, or for someone else's approval will only keep you stuck. The people who achieve their goals are the ones who find a way to act in spite of the challenges. Starting now doesn't mean you won't face difficulties. It doesn't mean the road ahead will be smooth. But it does mean you're taking control of your life instead of letting circumstances control you. It means you're willing to bet on yourself, even when the odds aren't guaranteed. And that willingness is what creates opportunities. It's not luck that separates successful people from those who never reach their goals. It's their ability to act when others hesitate. The world is full of people who had great ideas but never acted on them. Don't let yourself become one of them. Don't let fear or procrastination steal your future. The dream you have, the goal you want to achieve is worth starting now. It's worth the risk, the effort, and the uncertainty. Because the alternative is staying where you are, wondering what could have been if only you had started. Time is the most valuable resource you have, and every moment you spend waiting is a moment you can't get back. You can't control how much time you have, but you can control how you use it. And the best way to use it is to start moving toward your goals right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel more prepared. Because the truth is, you'll never feel fully ready. There will always be doubts, fears, and reasons to wait. But those who succeed are the ones who act in spite of those reasons. When you stop waiting for the perfect time and start taking action, you'll realize that the process of doing creates its own momentum. You'll gain clarity, confidence, and competence as you go. And as you progress, the excuses that once held you back will start to fade away. The fear of failure will diminish, replaced by the knowledge that you're capable of overcoming challenges. The idea of waiting for perfection will seem laughable because you'll know that progress beats perfection every time. The life you want is waiting for you, but it won't wait forever. Every day you delay is a day you lose. The opportunities in front of you won't last indefinitely. The people who could help you, the resources available to you, the energy you have right now, it's all fleeting. That's why the best time to start is now. It's not about having the perfect conditions. It's about making the most of what you have and trusting yourself to figure out the rest along the way. Greatness is forged in the fire of effort, not handed out. Too many people believe that greatness is something reserved for a select few, something bestowed on the lucky or the talented. But that belief couldn't be further from the truth. Greatness isn't something you're born with, it's something you earn. It's built brick by brick through hard work, discipline, and resilience. It's not handed to you on a silver platter. It's shaped by the sweat, sacrifice, and struggle you're willing to endure. Every person who has ever achieved greatness has faced moments of doubt, failure, and hardship. Those moments are not the exception. They're the rule. Greatness demands that you endure challenges and keep pushing forward, even when the odds seem stacked against you. It's not about avoiding adversity. It's about learning to thrive in it. The fire of effort is what molds you into the person capable of achieving extraordinary things. It's the process, not the result, that defines your greatness. People often look at successful individuals and only see the end result, the championship, the accolades, the wealth. What they don't see is the countless hours of unseen effort, the sleepless nights, the early mornings, and the moments of self-doubt that had to be overcome. Greatness isn't glamorous while it's being built. It's gritty, it's painful, and it demands a level of commitment that most people aren't willing to give. That's why it's rare. Not because it's impossible, but because it requires a relentless drive that separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. The fire of effort is uncomfortable, and that's why so many people shy away from it. It's easier to stay in your comfort zone, to settle for mediocrity, and to avoid the hard work that greatness demands. But the truth is, nothing worth having comes easy. If it did, everyone would have it. The fire is what separates those who talk about their dreams from those who achieve them. It's the forge where your character, resilience, and determination are tested and strengthened. Effort isn't just about working hard, it's about working consistently. Anyone can give 100% effort for a day or a week, but greatness requires sustained effort over time. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it, even when progress seems slow, even when the results aren't immediate. The fire of effort is a long, grueling process, but it's in that process that you grow into the person capable of achieving the greatness you desire. Failure is an inevitable part of the process, and it's often the point where most people give up. They see failure as a sign that they're not cut out for greatness. But in reality, failure is a crucial part of the journey. It's in the moments when you fall short, when you face setbacks, and when you feel like giving up that your true potential is revealed. The fire of effort doesn't just test your abilities, it tests your willpower and your determination and your belief in yourself. Greatness requires sacrifice. It asks you to give up your excuses, your comfort, and sometimes even things you enjoy for the sake of a greater goal. It's not about working harder for the sake of it. It's about aligning your actions with your vision and making the tough choices that success demands. The fire of effort burns away the distractions, the doubts, and the limitations you place on yourself, leaving behind a version of you that is stronger, sharper, and more focused. Many people want greatness, but they don't want the struggle that comes with it. They want the rewards without the work, the recognition without the grind. But greatness doesn't work that way. It doesn't come from shortcuts, luck, or talent alone. It comes from persistence, from refusing to quit when things get tough, and from pushing yourself beyond what you thought was possible. The fire of effort is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. The fire doesn't just test your physical abilities, it tests your mindset. Greatness is as much about mental strength as it is about skill or talent. It's about staying focused when distractions arise, staying motivated when results are slow. It's staying determined when the path gets difficult. The fire of effort shapes your mentality, teaching you to embrace challenges as opportunities and to see setbacks as stepping stones. When you commit to the fire of effort, you start to understand that the process itself is the reward. Every step forward, every challenge overcome, and every goal achieved is a testament to your resilience and dedication. The fire isn't something to be feared, it's something to be embraced. It's the crucible where greatness is forged, and every moment you spend in it brings you closer to becoming the person you're meant to be. The journey to greatness is not easy, but it's worth it. It's not about what you gain, it's about who you become in the process. The fire of effort is what transforms your potential into reality, your dreams into achievements, and your goals into legacy. It's not handed to you. It's earned every single day through your choices, your actions, and your commitment to never give up. The greatest part of your life is something you create. It's not handed to you, and it doesn't just happen by chance. It's built through your choices, your actions, and your relentless determination to shape the life you want. Too often, people wait for something external to bring meaning or fulfillment to their lives. But the truth is, those things don't come unless you go out and make them happen. Your life is not a product of circumstances. It's a reflection of your decisions and your willingness to take control of your own story. Creating the greatest part of your life starts with a vision. It requires you to look beyond where you are now and imagine where you want to be. That vision doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to be yours. It has to come from your heart, from your deepest desires and passions, because that's what will drive you to take the steps necessary to bring it to life. No one else can define it for you, and no one else can create it for you. It's something that only you can build, one decision and one action at a time. Many people go through life waiting. They wait for permission, for the right opportunity, or for someone else to show them the way. But waiting doesn't create greatness. Waiting doesn't build the life you want. If you want something, you have to be willing to go after it with everything you have, even when the path isn't clear. The greatest part of your life doesn't come from what's given to you. It comes from what you work for, fight for, and commit to. even when it's hard. Creating something great requires risk. It requires stepping out of your comfort zone and taking chances, even when you're not sure how things will turn out. It's easy to stay safe, to stick to what's familiar, and to avoid the unknown. But the life you want isn't found in the safety of your comfort zone. It's found in the risk you take, the challenges you face, and the courage you summon to go after what you truly want. The process of creating the greatest part of your life isn't linear. It's not a straight path, and it's not without setbacks. You'll encounter obstacles, failures, and moments of doubt, but those moments are part of the process. They're not signs that you're on the wrong path. They're opportunities to learn, grow, and become stronger. Every setback is a lesson. Every failure is a stepping stone. And every challenge is a chance to prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. It's important to understand that creating the greatest part of your life isn't about perfection. It's not about getting everything right or making mistakes. It's about persistence. It's about showing up every day, even when it's hard, even when progress feels slow, and even when you're not sure if you're on the right track. The greatest part of your life is built through consistency, through the small, everyday actions that add up over time to create something extraordinary. The greatest part of your life isn't something you stumble upon, it's something you design. It's about being intentional with your time, your energy, and your focus. It's about knowing what matters most to you and prioritizing those things above all else. Distractions will always be there, but when you're clear on your vision and committed to your goals, those distractions lose their power. You start to see them for what they are: temporary obstacles that can't stop you unless you let them. Creating the life you want also requires resilience. It's not always going to be easy, and there will be times when you feel like giving up, but resilience is what keeps you moving forward, even when the road gets tough. It's what allows you to bounce back from failures and setbacks and to keep pushing toward your goals, no matter how many times you fall. Resilience is what separates those who create something great from those who settle for less. The process of creating the greatest part of your life is deeply personal. It's not about comparing yourself to others or measuring your success by someone else's standards. It's about staying true to yourself, to your values, and to your vision. The greatest part of your life is unique to you, and it's up to you to decide what it looks like and how you're going to achieve it. No one else is going to create the life you want for you. No one else is going to hand you the opportunities, the success, or the fulfillment you're looking for. Those things come from within, from your willingness to put in the work, to take the risks, and to stay committed to your vision, no matter what. The greatest part of your life isn't something you find, it's something you build with intention, effort, and unwavering determination.